two songs. It's not included in Genesis Revisited, but the song "A Life Within a Day," which is Anthem, and "The Golden Age of Steam." My kids delegated me to tape the piece of it. "The Golden Age of Steam," your song.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
All right.
Are you talking about the first one we wrote together, of course?
Yeah.
The second one is another one.
Could you play it tomorrow, he said?
The great thing about A Life Within a Day was Steve and Roger gave me this demo of an idea of a couple of riffs and a couple of and the jazzy bit, and I said, yeah, that's really intriguing, and we got together and changed it around a little bit, and then
we wrote face to face, didn't we? It was literally a line by a line. You know, and the three of us were.
And he's the easiest guy I've ever written lyrics with in my life, and mainly because we used to open National Geographic, take the headlines, and then.
God bless National Geographic. That's what we were reading at the time. We were sitting there sipping tea. And,
having said that, you're obviously very busy with Genesis Revisited too. You're very busy with Yes. Is there a possibility of you two guys collaborating again then?
I think one day there will be. I mean, it may be the best idea. Maybe that we make another album first down the line, and then we have a couple of albums worth of material, and then we'll see if the space is available then. But I don't know, maybe before then, we don't know, do we really?
All I can say is we had a great time doing it, and it was very, very natural. It felt like we've been working together for a long time. You know, we didn't. It was the opposite of phase cancellation, wasn't it? We just sort of fed each other, and it was great.
Yeah.
Well, when I spoke to you last year, you said that there was a big interest in you doing some shows as well.
There is, and just to get back to the musical side of it, but one thing that I was sort of naturally impressed with was when we would sing together, and our voices together sounded so good that we ended up really doing most of the lead vocal on the whole album, both singing it at the same time, and it kind of has a great blend and a real organic feel to it. So,
Okay, another couple of questions, gentlemen here. What is your name and what is your question?
My name is Steve, and I'm really happy to see you guys together. I think it's amazing. Mr. Hackett and also Mr. Squire, I would love to know, as a musician, what is on your pedal boards?
His is bigger than mine.
There's nothing to do with size. Yeah, size isn't everything. So I've been told.
Right. So, do you want to kick off with your pedal board, or is that a trade secret?
Well, I think well, Steve, I don't know. I think you have a more of an old school way of wiring a pedal board. Mine is much more triggers, and all my effects are kept with my tech guy at the back, and I just tune them in and out. So I don't have signal going to my pedal board, and that's the way I've been working with that since the 80s, actually. So, but it's not that that's necessarily an improvement, because I don't know. Is that the way you do it?
Well, I don't know. I used to have these sort of fixed boards, built by Pete Cornish, who would take the guts out of everything, but that'd be a fixed thing. But what happens these days is, you get. There's so many pedals coming out every week. You think, it'd be nice to include that one, wouldn't it? So, I don't know if anyone's worked with a Sans amp here. For you guitarists, that's really great. And then, again, Mr. Cornish built me a thing. I asked for a treble booster, and he built me a thing called an iron booster. But he's almost retired now, and he doesn't remember what he put in it. So I haven't got a spare. He said, send it to me in the post, and I'll open it up. And I said, it's going to get lost in the post. I'm not going to risk it. So I've got the one and only iron boost pedal, and it's an extraordinary thing. A Digitech whammy pedal, which is nice, takes you up the octave. There's a micropod, some TC stuff. I've got a couple of wah-wahs. I've got a Vox one, but the one we're using is, what is it? It's a Crybaby. Mr. Hendricks, Crybaby, one or two other things, but...
what kind of compressor?
A compressor? No, I don't think I'm using a compressor on the board at the moment.
Can I just say I'm glad we don't have the drummer here because we'd be back to size again then. As regards our another question, please. We're okay. Hang on. I feel like I'm an escapee from prison with these lights. But okay, that wouldn't be the first time that had happened actually. Your name and your question.
My name is Robert. Hey guys, as a fan, there's so much musical history that you guys have given us and the feelings that have gone with it. And I was curious, as players, what were those magical moments, if you could just pick one out in your lives, whether it was a live performance or a collaboration or an album or you know, writing or sitting in a room like you were describing, what was the things that just pop out in your mind first?
Good question.
It's a good question, and there are many answers to it from my point of view. I mean, throughout my career and Yes's career, of course, I've had so many great live moments and great studio moments as well. And you know, it's a whole tapestry, man, of richness.
I think it's a very good answer because you know you could say one gig was better than another and all that, but it's not really. It's the whole deal. You know, it's just it's a real privilege to be able to make a noise for a living, frankly.
It does, of course, depend on the noise you make.
I didn't catch that. What was
It does, of course, depend on the noise you make.
Oh, well, of course, yes.
Okay, time is running out, so we're going to have to squeeze in maybe two more over here. Hang on a second. What is your name and what is your question, please?
My name is Michael Lyon, and my question is for both gentlemen. First of all, I'd like to say, Chris, very athletic job of hitting those pedals last night.
As I said, my last challenge is to actually book a gig at an earthquake.
That's the question we've all about. Have I ever played on a stage that moved in so many directions as the one did last night?
It was a very moving show, I hear.
And your question for Steve?
Well, Steve, but you were on the first night.
He had smooth sailing.
You did, yeah.
Well, I tell you what
we left port when you came on stage.
What was extraordinary about that was we started out with Watcher of the Skies, and that sort of Mellotron introduction has always been a favourite of mine. I remember hearing it when we rehearsed it in Italian palace balls. You know, I'd be downstairs, Tony was doing the Mellotron and the whole building shaking. Well, we had something like the same experience the other night. The ship's engine started. At the moment, as if by magic, and the Earth was moving. You know, there's a song about a spacecraft, and there's this ship moving. And it's an extraordinary moment. You're talking about extraordinary memories. That will stay with me forever.
Well, they do say it's not the size of the ship, it is the goal of the ocean. That's a musician. The musicians will get that. Okay, another question. Okay, we have a gentleman here. Can I squeeze through here, please? Can you stand up? Just your name and your question, please.
Thank you very much. My name is Leonardo, and my question is there any possibility to have an official CD or DVD of all these fantastic presentations that we are watching here on the cruise? Thank you.
Well, you're likely to...
What is the question?
He says, is it possible to have a DVD of all the performances that are on the cruise?
I don't know.
Are you being bootlegged, I think he's asking, isn't it? And I think the answer is yes, you probably are being bootlegged.
There's probably about 3,000 versions of the very thing that you're after if you befriend everyone on this ship.
I'm sure if you ask any one of the people in this room, someone somewhere will have a copy of one of the performances. Yes. Or join Facebook, and I'm sure you'll find probably even more people with the performance. Okay, I think maybe one more question for you guys. Okay, young lady here. Your name and your question, please.
My name is Hackett, and as an art student, all your albums seems to match perfectly with visual arts. How do you combine them?
Usually with great difficulty.
But Roger Dean's on board, isn't he?
Yeah, I haven't seen Roger. only just heard he's on this boat, so it'd be a shame if we all went down.
He's actually
Went down on the hood. So,
I told you he was funny, didn't I?
it's all his fault.
I think the thing is that everybody is so happy to see you guys not only separately but together. Like for instance here, yes. Yeah. Can I ask the two of you? I'll start with you, Chris. What's been your take on this? I know we're 3 days in, but when I first heard about this, because coming from England, we don't kind of do this thing really, do we? What were your thoughts when you decided, okay, we're going to do this on a cruise in the Caribbean?
I thought I'd go to my grave before I ever went on a cruise. But having hopefully weathered the first part of it, and being able to stand up straight at the end of the night, of course there have been other nights when I haven't stood up straight and not been on the cruise.
That's a different story.
But no, I mean, we're all here together, let's have fun, huh?
All right.
I didn't catch that. But
How about you? What was your thought initially? I remember when we were talking in November.
well, the last time I was on a cruise was 1957, when my parents and we emigrated to Canada, and that was a fantastic thing for me as a kid. We went across the Atlantic, 5 days, and it was wonderful. But that was the last time I played on a cruise, when I was 7 years old. Handing around the cap for my harmonica playing. But yeah, welcome back. It only took how many years? I don't know.
I think this might be slightly better paid though.
Slightly better paid, yeah.
I take it you didn't like Canada then?
Oh, I loved Canada. My mother was terribly homesick. The moment she hit Vancouver, she said she knew she'd done the wrong thing. And we were back in 4 months.
I'll tell you something, you know what? My mum and dad got pregnant and they were bound to Vancouver as well.
Really?
But my mum decided that, back in 1948, pregnant, I probably shouldn't travel. And she was only a little bit pregnant, but so they cancelled the whole thing. But you do realise we could have been Rush.
To Vancouver. My family emigrated to Vancouver in the 50s, and because they went with my great-grandmother, she didn't like it, and they came back, so I could have been born in Canada. So there must be something about Vancouver.
I don't know what it is about Canada that everyone emigrated out there from the family, and everyone came back. I was the only one who wanted to stay. As a kid, I hated going back to England, I swear.
Well, I haven't been there recently. I spent 12 hours as a stopover in Montreal, and you have a wonderful country. If you've got any Canadians. So, well, listen, gentlemen, I know Chris has another appointment a little later on this evening.
Yes.
So, Steve, would you like to play another little piece, or